You are Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, that was no fun. Usually these Nuggets-Lakers games are pretty entertaining. And tonight it was a stinker as the Denver Nuggets lose without Nikola Jokic, without Jamal Murray to the Los Angeles Lakers. Your final score, 120-108. Welcome on into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I am your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. Do me a favor, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. And today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Prizepicks. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Prizepicks, run your game. The Lakers ran their game tonight. I have a buddy, I grew up in Los Angeles, not a Laker fan, for whatever that's worth. And I spent some childhood years out there, and I have a buddy of mine that we usually do like a little $10 side bet when the Nuggets and the Lakers play each other, just kind of seeing who's going to win. I've gotten the better of them in the series since we've been doing this, I'll be honest. Shout out to my boy MB. But tonight I texted him, I was like, no Jokic, no Murray. And he responded, he's like, I don't even think we should do the bet tonight just because it's not fair. And you could tell the game was over from the moment it started. That's kind of the simplest way that I could put it. And I know there's probably going to be some Lakers fans chirping, whatever. Just be happy that Nico Collins made the stupidest trade in NBA history to gift you Luka Doncic. I'll get into that towards the end of the show. But that's the reality of the situation is this Lakers team with Luka Doncic, Kendrick says Doncic. I can't say his last name, but Doncic. That's what Kendrick says in his Playboy Cardi song on the new album. But Luka to the Lakers was an absolute gift, and he takes them up to another level. I mean, a serious contender in the Western Conference, especially with LeBron James when he's healthy and whatnot. And for the Denver Nuggets, Monday night was awesome. Monday night was incredible. Taking down the Golden State Warriors minus Jokic, minus Murray, minus Christian Brown. And I did not think they were going to be able to do it 2 games in a row. Like I fully expected once we found out that Jokic and Murray were out tonight that Denver would lose this game as they ended up doing. But, I guess you like the fight there in the fourth quarter. Saw JJ Redick a little frustrated there at the end. Denver outscores the Lakers 31-15 there in the fourth. So I guess that's your kind of silver lining of the game tonight is you like the way that some of these young guys played. PJ Hall giving his heart out there in his 8 minutes. Jalen Pickett getting some extended run. Vlatko, nice to see him out there as well with 22 minutes tonight. Guys that don't normally play are getting minutes in these games, folks. Spencer Jones with 29 tonight. Hunter Tyson with 12. So you're getting some of the bench guys some experience, which could be valuable come playoff time. We know that Michael Malone loves to keep his rotations tight. 7 or 8 guys come playoff time as well, but injuries happen, things happen, so maybe a Hunter Tyson has to give you a few minutes here or there. I've been adamant that Jalen Pickett should be a part of the rotation, and he's benefited from the injury. I don't want to say benefited, but, he's getting more playing time because of the injury to Julian Strawther right now as well. So there's really not a lot to take away from this game, folks. 120-108, your final score. I mean, the Lakers came out just fast and furious. Luka Doncic, double-digit points there in the first quarter. They outscore the Nuggets tonight in the first, 46-29. I texted my buddy. I said, GG's, this one is over. The Lakers almost hung 80 on the Nuggets in the first half alone. I mean, you look at the third quarter for the Nuggets, only 18 points coming out of halftime. 18 points coming out of halftime. And again, you like the way that they, scratched and clawed their way back there in the fourth quarter, but they were never going to win this game. Let's just be honest with ourselves. This is a chew them up, spit them out type of game for the Denver Nuggets as they look. The final score is not telling the full story here. I know it's 120-108, right? But it was a lot worse than the final score indicates. I mean, the Lakers tonight led by as many as 30 points, folks. Denver never had a lead in this game. I mean, that says it all right there for the Denver Nuggets. I mean, they shot the 3 all right, took a high volume tonight, 13 of 39, 33%. I mean, not great, but I mean, they were kind of living and dying by the 3 there a little bit. I mean, Aaron Gordon did his thing. The Lakers shot 42% from 3 tonight, 16 for 38. Austin Reeves did his thing, mentioned Luka there as well. Denver, they turned the ball over 19 times. It's just one of those games where you want to just kind of forget it. And you're happy that you were able to steal that victory against the Golden State Warriors on Monday. That was a feel-good moment, right? You were not expecting that. I tweeted it out at Media by AP. This is kind of the tale of 2 games. And who was it? Tim Bontemps, I think it was, on ESPN. I don't want to get the name wrong, or maybe it was McMahon. One of the ESPN guys was talking about how it's, not a good look for the Nuggets to rest Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray on Monday night against the Warriors. I saw. I mean, like, do you watch the games? Like, Murray literally rolled his ankle late in the game against Washington, and Jokic has been bruised and battered all season long. So again, just different talking points tonight, because this game kind of knew it was over before it even started, if we're being honest with ourselves. Obviously, I'm an optimist at heart, so there's a little party that's like, okay, any game, any given Sunday, any given Wednesday, whatever it might be, maybe the Nuggets come out and they build some momentum after that victory against the Golden State Warriors. But that was just not the case tonight, folks. I mean, that was just not the case. So they lose 120 to 108, and Minnesota lost tonight. I believe I saw my boy Jake Shapiro of 104.3 The Fan talking about how Denver has a 5-game advantage on that play-in cutoff line, excuse me. Denver's going to be, likely the 2 or the 3 seed when it's all said and done. And this is the final regular season matchup between the Nuggets and the Lakers this season. All 4 of them done. It's a shame that the last 2 were a bit wacky, right? I mean, they beat them, what was that, last Friday, I want to say off the top of my head, with no LeBron, but full strength with the Nuggets, and they almost blew that one late in the fourth quarter. So, that was definitely interesting. And then tonight is kind of a throwaway game. But Denver, when healthy, has owned the Lakers in recent memory. That's just the reality of the situation. The question is, how much does Luka Doncic impact the Lakers now if they were to meet up in the playoffs? And I think the answer to that is quite significant. Quite significant. I'm not saying I'd be afraid of the Lakers in the playoffs, but it's a much different Lakers team than the Nuggets have been able to chew up and spit out the last couple of postseasons in the NBA playoffs as well. So it is what it is. 120 to 108, your final score here tonight. As I mentioned, Aaron Gordon leading the way tonight for Denver in the scoring department. 26 points for AG, finishes with a double-double, adding the 11 rebounds there, had a steal as well. This is a game where you want to see some more from Michael Porter Jr. Russell Westbrook was not great tonight. You're just hucking up a few threes, ugly shots at times. I mean, there was one point there in the first half, I think it was the second quarter, where Russ had the ball in the corner beyond the arc, and the Lakers fans are screaming, shoot it, and obviously they've seen that same song and dance from Russell Westbrook and whatnot, although he's been better with this Denver Nuggets team than he ever was with the Lakers, Clippers, Rockets, Wizards, who am I forgetting? I think that's all of it since he departed Oklahoma City. So, but again, going back to Michael Porter Jr., we'll talk about this coming up here after the break. You need to see more from him. And I understand that this is a throwaway game, but this is a matchup where, you still have a max contract player, on the floor here. You have a former MVP and Russell Westbrook on the floor here. And I give Russ a little bit of it's a different talking point just because of where he's at in his career. But Aaron Gordon did his part tonight, folks. I mean, Aaron Gordon had a solid game, a very solid game with the 26 points, 11 rebounds, 5 of 9 from 3, So you can't really ask much more from Aaron Gordon. It's one thing if Gordon and Porter are, playing, I don't want to say lights out, but playing up to the level that we expect from them, and you give it your best shot and you lose. But again, the defense was just terrible across the board. Peyton Watson off to a rough start in this game as well. Christian Brown has been pretty good for the Nuggets as of late. Not a great game from him. And so they desperately need Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray back in the lineup. We'll see what is coming up with those guys as well. But why don't we hit our break, guys? When we come back, let's talk a little Michael Porter Jr. We'll get some more big picture thoughts on this game as the Lakers stomp the Denver Nuggets. Your final score here tonight, 120 to 108. Hit a quick break, come back, and do just that right here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. All right, you guys, real quick, let me tell you about our friends, if I could find it, over at Prizepicks, guys, because basketball season is heating up, and there's no better way to get in on the action than with Prizepicks, the best place for daily fantasy sports. With Prizepicks, you just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. It's easy to use, available in over 30 states, and lets you mix and match projections across different sports. You can build your lineups. This week, I'm selecting Luka Doncic for more than 25 points and Jason Tatum for more than 8 rebounds. That looked pretty good tonight, huh? Prizepicks makes it simple. You can get you can set your lineup in less than 60 seconds and stay engaged all game long. And fast payouts, guys. When you win, your money hits your account in as little as 15 minutes. No waiting around. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's LOCKEDONNBA for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prizepicks, run your game. Let me also tell you about our friends over at Hungryroot, guys, because When it comes to grocery shopping and meal planning, I've had this ongoing problem. I just don't have the time. Boy, is that true. Between work, life, and trying to eat healthier, I was constantly feeling stressed out. I'd go to the grocery store, buy things I didn't need, and then end up with no time to actually cook. And sticking to my health goals, that's been a struggle too. But everything changed when I discovered Hungryroot. Honestly, it's been a game changer. It's the easiest way to eat healthy without all the stress. With Hungryroot, it's like having a personal shopper and a nutritionist all in one. They take care of my grocery shopping, recommending meals and groceries based on my tastes and health goals, from anti-inflammatory to high protein and gluten-free options. And the best part, every meal is ready in 15 minutes or less. I'm talking quick, healthy meals that actually taste great, all delivered straight to my door. It's been a huge time saver and has made healthy eating so much simpler. You're going to love Hungryroot as much as I do. For a limited time, get 40% off of your first box and a free item in every box for life. Just go to hungryroot.com/lockedonnba and use code LOCKEDONNBA. That's hungryroot.com/lockedonnba, code LOCKEDONNBA to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/lockedonnba, code LOCKEDONNBA. Do not miss out, guys. And let me also real quick, last one, tell you about our friends over at Robinhood. Guys, with Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8% the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new Gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk, rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average saving account interest rate. Claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November the 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. Okay, welcome on back to your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I'm your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. As always, really appreciate you guys rocking with me. Do me a favor, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button as well. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. An ugly one tonight, folks. 120-108, your final score here. Denver really never stood a chance, never had a lead, down their 2 best players. And that is really the story of the game. This is a chew them up, spit them out type of game here for the Denver Nuggets. Let's take a look here. Let's try to wipe the slate clean. Let's look at the upcoming schedule here for Denver. Only a handful of games remaining here, folks. I mean, they should be able to get right and bounce back on Friday. They've got the Portland Trailblazers coming to town, 8 p.m. tip-off for that one. They're on the road at Portland. My bad on that. So they should, either way, even though it's a road game, they should be able to take care of business against the Trailblazers. I mean, so in their next 3 games, a couple of layups, especially considering how difficult this schedule is. They should beat Portland on Friday. Then on Sunday, they've got the Rockets, right? So the Rockets, are surging right now. Good team in the Western Conference. Ime Udoka has those guys playing real well. So that'll be a tough matchup. But a game, again, assuming that Denver's at full strength, you expect them to at least be competitive in, if not win that one. And then on Monday, second night of a back-to-back, they'll come home to take on the Chicago Bulls. And that's a game that you 100% should win. So you're looking at, out of the next 3 games, Denver, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, should win 2 of those 3 games. And look, it's the Nuggets. They might not, right? We've seen that happen before. But, they should be able to take down Portland and take care of business against Chicago with the Rockets sandwich there in between. They've got the Bucks coming up on Wednesday and then Utah on Friday. So, if you're looking at it from a 5-game sample size, 3 of the next 5 games for Denver are all winnable games. And you want to win 3 of those 5 because the schedule from there at that point, less than 10 games remaining on the schedule, you only have one kind of gimme game remaining after that. You've got Minnesota on the first day of April, which is Tuesday. Then you got San Antonio. That's the game you should win. And then you're looking at this 5-game stretch to end the season. At Golden State, home versus Indiana, at Sacramento, home versus Memphis, at Houston. We're talking about 5 playoff teams in that stretch with Golden State, Indiana, Sacramento, Memphis, and Houston. So, those will not be easy games. Denver, is going to have to scrape and claw if they want to be able to compete and win those games, try to cement themselves as the 2 seeds. So you got to clean up on the Chicagos. You got to clean up on the Portlands. You got to clean up on the San Antonios with that kind of gauntlet of a stretch coming up here for Denver to end the season. But as it pertains to tonight, like I said, let's talk a little Michael Porter Jr., man. I feel like a broken record with this because, I like MPJ, man. He's a fun player. When he's hot shooting the three, he is as good as it gets, right? But unfortunately, you got to take the good with the bad. And, it's back and forth. One good game, one bad game. And honestly, this year, without looking at his numbers, it looks like it's a couple of bad games for every one good game right now. He had that stretch in February leading up to the All-Star break where he was on fire, but that was against the New Orleans of the world, right? Denver cannot win a championship. I don't even want to talk about them winning a championship right now because I think there's a lot that needs to happen in order for them to even consider that. But they can't be a serious contender in the Western Conference without Michael Porter Jr. locked in and ready to go. I think Denver, at this point, if we're taking this last week sample size, that's going back to the win against Oklahoma City, the game against Minnesota, the win against the Lakers last week. What am I missing? Washington, which I blocked out of my memory from Saturday, the win against Golden State, and now here. They seem like a team that's one and done. Just kind of being honest with ourselves here. They seem like a team that will win one playoff series and then have a tough matchup in the second round and maybe get bounced. Hopefully in 6 or 7, if that is the case, put up a fight. But that's just how I see it personally. Now, that's not to say that Denver can't get hot, clamp down on defense, flip the switch, which we've seen them do before, and make it to a conference final and compete for an NBA final. That's very much within the realm of possibility. But if we're taking what we're seeing and kind of putting that in the bank and kind of making opinions off that, they've just been too inconsistent. That's my opinion on this Denver Nuggets team. Is they've got the talent, but the consistency is not there. It's not the same team that was that won the chip 2 years ago. It's not the same team that, got flamed out last year against Minnesota. That was a much better team, in my opinion. And so you need Jamal healthy. You need Joker healthy. Joker will be fine. Jamal twisted the ankle pretty bad. So, you got to be careful with that because you need him as close to 100% in the playoffs as possible. Nice to see Aaron Gordon back out there as well. He's been banged up throughout the course of the season. But Michael Porter Jr., in my opinion, guys, is the key here. If you can get prime A+ version, even A, B+, B- version of Michael Porter Jr., the Michael Porter Jr. that we've all come to know and love over the last few years, you got a chance. But tonight in a game where he had the opportunity to kind of show what he's made of, it didn't really do much for you tonight. 12 points, 1 of 5 from 3, 4 rebounds, an assist. You like the 3 steals. But let's compare that to his game against Golden State here real quick. Against Golden State, he's what you needed. 21 points, 3 of 10 from 3. You want to see that up a little bit, but you'll take it. 5 assists and 10 rebounds, a double-double. So there's the duality of Michael Porter Jr. in back-to-back games without Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. But it is what it is. But all right, I think that's going to do it for me. I don't think there's much more to say about this game. Kind of, like I said, chew it up, spit it out, and on to the next with Portland here on Friday. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. The Denver Nuggets come up short tonight, minus Jokic and Murray. On your way out, do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button as well. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Home stretch of the regular season, folks. Playoffs coming up. We'll see if Denver can bounce back on Friday. And outside of that, have a good one, folks. Enjoy the March Madness starting tomorrow.